briefly here this morning about service. Many of you know we've been out on the campaign trail for a long time. And for a lot of us, this has been one of the things that's been fantastic and uplifting. And we know it's all of our lives are in God's hands, and this is why this gathering is such a wonderful event for us, to come here and to share our faith with so many people. God bless you all for being here. This is a wonderful day. And thanks for coming out and helping us along the way as we campaign 71,000 miles in my red pickup truck. One of the great things I learned along the way in that campaign was I never counted on making friends with the people that I was running against in that race. And there I was, minding my own business, sitting in a parking lot in Newton, Iowa, when the call comes and you can't turn down the governor of the state of Iowa when he asks you to run for office. It was all of this is based on you, the support that you gave my campaign and what you did for us out on this wonderful, wonderful state. One of the most uplifting aspects of this is getting the opportunity to meet so many great Iowans. And across the state we did. We shook hands with thousands of people. We knocked on thousands of doors. And one of the things I want to tell you is there is a great movement in this country. There are people excited again about coming back and pushing back on this government, coming back and capturing this Constitution, bringing it forward, and making it so that we all understand the rule of law and know that all of this is given to us by God's hand. I've had the great honor of serving this country, 29 years in uniform. I have my son, who is headed off to Afghanistan at the end of this month for the 8th time. 5 times to Iraq. This will be his 3rd deployment to Afghanistan. I'm not worried about him a bit. As a parent, you should worry, but I know he's a great young man. He's a great warrior. He has faith in his heart, and I know that God's hand will steer him and will take care of him and protect him. I want you all to pray for all of our servicemen and women all over this world because they need it so much, and they need our help and support as we go along. One of the things I want to do right now is to introduce to you a dear friend, another person who shares this great notion of service, who has served this state in the National Guard, who served in the state Senate, who has served her county, who serves God, and who serves all of us. I want to tell you right now, I am proud to be a conservative, proud to be a Republican, proud to be a Christian, proud to be an Iowan, and proud to introduce the next senator from the state of Iowa, Joni Ernst.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today. It is so great to see so many friends, both on stage, those that have joined us as speakers today, and those of you that have joined us here in the audience. I want to say a special thank you to the Family Leader team for putting this together, the great activities that are scheduled for today. I hope that you all receive many blessings from today's activities. To the Governor and Lieutenant Governor, as always, thank you for your continued support and your friendship. Thank you for leading this great, wonderful state of Iowa. Sam, my dear friend Sam, I want to thank him so much. That was a very, very kind introduction. And I have been blessed to know Sam and allowed our friendship to grow over the past 15 months. This has been a wonderful journey for all of us. So again, Sam Clovis, great American, great leader. Thank you, Sam. Thank you. What I'd like to do, I'm going to take a little detour. What I'd like to do today, one of the things that I do when I'm not out and about visiting with lots of Iowans is take a time out on Sundays I do teach as a Sunday school teacher and a confirmation teacher in my home church in Stanton, Iowa. And the students that I have in confirmation are young teenagers, 7th and 8th graders. And this last year we focused on the New Testament in confirmation. And one of my favorite stories from the New Testament comes to us from Luke, and it's the road to Emmaus. And on the road to Emmaus, 2 of Jesus' disciples were walking along the road, and this is after the crucifixion, before Jesus' ascension, and a stranger appeared to them. It was Jesus. He started walking along with his 2 disciples, but the disciples didn't recognize Jesus. And what I do is focus on that passage. That passage has special meaning to me, because it reminds me that there is truth, and there is goodness, and there is support, and there is love out there with us, even though we may not recognize it. And so what this does is point out to me, and I hope it points out to you also, that in our everyday lives, there is goodness around us. And here in Iowa, that is particularly true, because we have Iowans that help other Iowans. That's our way of doing business here in the state. So what I'd like to do is give you a couple examples of that. Now, I do serve as a lieutenant colonel and a battalion commander in the Iowa Army National Guard. And these brave men and women who serve in the National Guard, they help us. You may not recognize it all the time, but they are always, always there for you and for their neighbors and for their communities, whether you see it or not. They serve us here at home in times of floods and tornadoes and storms, and they serve us abroad in dangerous conflicts. They serve overseas. Just as Sam said, his son is going to Afghanistan. I had the honor of spending the afternoon yesterday with a Gold Star father from Iowa, lost his son in Afghanistan. And it just reminded me of those folks that are willing to serve and sacrifice us, even though we may not recognize them every day. They are there for us. Communities, our community organizations that are out there. There are groups that help children with literacy. There are groups like an organization I belong to, the Montgomery County Court of Honor, that puts up flags recognizing our servicemen and women on Veterans Day and Memorial Day. And then there are groups such as, when I was a young woman, I volunteered for a crisis shelter and a crisis hotline that helped women in domestic abuse situations. And we helped them find their way out of those difficult circumstances. There's so many great organizations across the state helping other Iowans. And we do it because that is our way of doing business here in the state. Groups like the Family Leader that are out there making sure that Iowa has strong families. We appreciate their service and work to our great state and to other states. So when a crisis occurs here in the state, it is our neighbors helping neighbors, Iowans helping Iowans. It's our Iowa way to walk across the street and help a neighbor in need. And additionally, when Iowans find themselves at odds with each other, the way we should do business is through words, amicably, with a handshake. So today, as many of our great national figures are coming into this state, we can share our lessons with them. That it doesn't take a big government organization making things right. It is ourselves helping each other. That's the way we do business here in Iowa. We are so blessed to be Iowans, to live in a state where helping one another isn't an exception to the rule, it is the rule. So as you think back on that road to Emmaus, think about it. There is goodness, there is truth, there is support, there is love around each one of us in our daily lives, even though we may not see it. Believe me, it is right there in front of you. So remember that as you're out there, Iowans helping other Iowans. This is the way we do business. It is our Iowa values. It is our Iowa way of life. So I want to thank all of you today. I know that you are there with me in your prayers. I feel uplifted every single day by those and for your words of encouragement. Thank you for allowing me to be here today. Those, again, on the Family Leader team, I want to thank them for everything they have done for us. Within the state, within the nation, we have many, many roads to follow. They have chosen the great road to follow. So thank you so much. God bless this great state of Iowa. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you so much.